At the Minnesota Council on Latino Affairs, we are celebrating our 45th anniversary. Estamos de manteles largos, as we say in Spanish. And we are very proud to share with you our journey. As we celebrate our present achievements, we recognize that we also stand on the shoulders of many before us.
And we propose legislature that is still in the books, benefiting the community.
And we became advocates for them in their communities as well.
At the end of the 1970s, the Spanish-Speaking Affairs Council established itself as the first ethnic council in the state of Minnesota. Let's hear some testimonies from the council's founders as they envisioned this project.
Since its creation in 1978 by legislative mandate under Governor Rudolph Perpich, MCLA has advocated for Latino civil and human rights, access to affordable housing, access to quality education and health, youth development, and equality in Minnesota.
My name is Jose Trejo, and I was the first director of the council. At that time, it was called the Spanish-Speaking Affairs Council. I was born in Mexico and moved to the United States at the age of 12. Now, the council was created because prior to the council, there were two organizations that served the Latino community. The first one was Migrant Affairs Council, and the Migrant Affairs Council was terminated by the legislature in 1976. And in turn to that, the governor created the governor's office of Spanish-Speaking Affairs, and I was selected as the director of the office. We felt that being just an office under executive order would not assure the existence of the council into the future if the governor changed or something else happened, because the governor could terminate it at will. So we decided to change the office to a council. And we went to the legislature and we made those changes, and it passed in the first year, which was very good for us.
Before MCLA's inception, the Latino community in the state was already organized. Community leaders were active creating the Chicano and Latino studies at the University of Minnesota and addressing community needs with initiatives like La Clínica Community Health Center, ACER, Centro Cultural Chicano, Centro Legal, and CLUAS, among others. But in 1978, they rallied together to form a groundbreaking organization.
We developed partnerships, we created additional resources for the community, and we proposed legislature that is still in the books, benefiting the community.
I was the first staff assigned to Jose Trejo at the Spanish-Speaking Affairs Council. The council was started to mobilize the Latino community in the state and become more relevant and more resourceful for our community. And the legislative initiatives were very challenging, but we were very successful. The leadership of Jose Trejo was amazing. He organized the community statewide. When I started at the council, he assigned me to do the outreach in all those communities, Moorhead, Albert Lee, all the small communities that had generations of Latinos, Mexicanos living there. Communities in Minneapolis, St. Paul, West Side, Albert Lee, Duluth. And so we did that research, we cultivated them, and we became advocates for them in their communities as well.
Mexican Americans, Chicanos, and Puerto Ricans successfully advocated to create a public institution to advise the governor and legislature and shape policies to address inequities in our community. They named it the Spanish-Speaking Affairs Council, becoming a leading entity across Minnesota and inspiring the creation of the other two ethnic councils.
We really did an intentional outreach to mobilize our communities. Many of them were undocumented, and so we needed to be careful so that they can build trust. And I really believe that the sincerity, the integrity of the council was what made it happen.
The council was born out of a collective desire to address systemic changes faced by the Latino community, especially newcomers and workers whose first language was Spanish. They were trying to navigate a new system, learn a new language, and find employment. The council believed in their potential. What began as a small group of passionate individuals became a powerful force of incremental change.
Representation is important. The first known Latino to serve in the Minnesota legislature was Conrado Vega. He ran for the Senate and was elected in 1976. He represented districts 52 and 39 from 1977 to 1987. This decade also saw Irene Gomez-Bethke become the first Latina to be appointed in the executive branch as a commissioner, leading the Minnesota Department of Human Rights.
I am very proud of the work that I did in the council, especially in creating additional resources for the community, passing important legislation, and developing leadership.
In the years to come, I expect that we'll be much more greater, that we'll have much more resources, more people entering government. That would mean much more success than what we already see.